lineup. Row number 1, the GP plate of Taylor Orange and his Croc Promotions teammate, Lewis Bird. Harrison Mackie and Freddie Lloyd start from row 2. Macaulay Bishop and Cian Garrity go from row 3.
Row 4 is Jensen Graham and Harry Bartel. Row 5, Riley Cranham, and 10 is Kenzo Craigie. Row 6 is David McIntyre and Joey Brown.
On row number 7, Hardy, Noah Mamasi and Aston Sharp. Mondi Jr., Canini and Zach Green share row 8. Joseph Smith and Lewis Islin, row 9.
And row 10 is Samuel Branston and Henry Carter. Row 11, Samuel Woolley and Laith Khan. And row 12, Cameron Edmonds and Elias Vignola.
Row number 13, Fred Green, the E-plate holder, and Morgan Moore. They both have 15 minutes, or 12 minutes less on their tyres. William Bennett Motorsport saying good luck to the Jade team. Rebecca Lloyd saying good luck to Fast. Freddie Lloyd. A lot of love for Macaulay Bishop, a lot of love for Jade, but they're being led by a pair of Crocs. What's the phrase? Never smile at a crocodile, and they'll go around again.
I think they were a little bit over-eager there, to be honest with you. The tram lines seem to be more of a vague suggestion than something they were sticking forward to.
Yes, the tram lines, yeah, it's not a guideline, it's a rule. Lewis Werrell, good to see you on the live chat, formerly of this parish, now racing out of the big wide world of OK karting. Nanny June is on, watching Harrison Mackie. Harrison Mackie started 22nd this morning, starts the final third, so overtaking, not a problem. The question for Harrison is, how much of his tyre did he use up? Championship leader Macaulay Bishop starting from the 3rd row. Harry Bart will manage to survive the opening, the pre-final, with a bent rear axle. He'll start on the 4th row of the grid. Watch for the leading Scottish driver, who is actually Mick Barrett Racing's David McIntyre in kart number, it's Jensen Graham in kart number 22. Morgan Moore and Fred Green at the back of the field. Oh, pull your belts up tight, ladies and gentlemen. Strap yourselves in. This one could get exciting.
It definitely is. And are we away? Yes, we are. And the GP plate leads, and that is a Fusion Motorsport Kart through into 2nd place. Can you quite make out who it is?
It's Harrison Mackie already there. Oh, in the back of the field there, a couple of drivers coming together, and the yellow flag's waving. Somebody in the barriers. Oh no, that's the number 15 karter, Joseph Smith. He returns to the circuit, and the rest of the field streaming on. There was 3 or 4 drivers coming together there towards the back of the field, and somebody getting run wide there. That's Harry Bartle, but it is Taylor Orange and Harrison Mackie. Harrison Mackie hasn't finished on the podium in this class this year. There's another move. Is that Macaulay Bishop? Yes, it is. But he runs wide. Cian Garrity gets him back. But Orange and Mackie have broken clear.
Yes, they have. That's another move. No Fusion Motorsport Kart getting the move, but it's so close out there. You see plenty of incidents on the opening lap. That's another Genty Motorsport Kart. That is the 44 of Kenzo Craigie, I believe.
Yes, indeed. Down towards turn number 4. Suddenly, when you get the full-size karts on the circuit, you just realise how narrow and cramped it is here. And it makes it all the more impressive how this drives. So Orange, he was joking about on camera earlier on. He is all business now. Mackie chases him in P2. Garrity runs 3rd, then the number 9 MDL Motorsport Kart, then the number 4 kart, the championship leader Macaulay Bishop, followed by Fast Freddie Lloyd. Then it's Jensen Graham in 6th position. Behind Graham, it's Lewis Bird, Kenzo Craigie, Harry Bartle and Riley Cranham. That's your top 10. Further back in the pack, starting from the back of the field, Fred Green already up. Fred Green and Morgan Moore up from 25th and 26th to 17th and 18th.
Yep. Macaulay Bishop.
Oh, I'm just seeing on the screen a 5-second penalty for Morgan Moore. So in-race penalty, that is not the luck of the Irish that Morgan Moore wanted.
No, it is not. Macaulay Bishop now putting big pressure on the 17 of Freddie Lloyd. Well, I say big pressure, actually a big push actually early on, which Fred Lloyd was not too best pleased with, but he is trying to stay with this top 4 group. Yes,
he is indeed out of now. The track is heating up. So this is the hottest the weekend has ever been. So the track, what does that do to the track, and what does it do to the tyres, the grip levels, Magic?
So obviously when they were testing here on Friday, it was a lot cooler. The pressures they were adjusting for then, maybe they did some long runs. They probably would have had some long runs done. they were testing for the cooler conditions. This is a little bit of an unknown variable.
Oh dear, that is... We'll have a little look, see who that is behind the barriers. I've got a feeling that is Samuel Branston, the Jade Racing number 58 kart.
Yes, that unfortunately will be going no further in this final. Green flags as we head down towards turn 7, which means you can pass, or at least try to. And look at this battle. I believe that is Freddie Lloyd just getting past King Garrity up into 3rd position.
Yes, it is indeed. Of course, Freddie Lloyd took a big win in the Army X30 Euro Series at Franciacorta a little while ago. Seems like a couple of weeks ago. It was a couple of weeks ago. And that has given him a boost in confidence. The same sort of confidence boost that Taylor Orridge got from taking his first British Championship win at Shenington last time out. He followed it up 2 weeks later with a win at the Kart Masters British Grand Prix, which is why he runs the GP plate. And he is... well, he's easing away from Harrison Mackie ever so slightly, but the gap is still just 0.2 of a second. That certainly Orridge cannot relax yet.
No, he cannot. So we have the GP plate still leading the way. We've got this battle for the top 3 and a bit of congestion. That's the 44. That's Kenzo Craigie trying to get stuck in there. It's ever so close.
It is ever so close. So we have got Crop Promotions, Fusion Motorsport, Crop Promotions running in P1, Fusion Motorsport running in 2 and 3, MDL Motorsport in 4, Dan Holland Racing in 5, Croc in 6, then Fusion 7, Croc 8, Fusion 9 and Argenti in 10th, with the Jamie Green Racing E-plate of Fred Green now up into P11, 8 seconds off the race leader with 10.5 minutes to go. It's not possible, is it? It's not possible. You're not going to get Fred Green on the podium from the back of the grid, are you? Are you?
I really don't know. But
that was a rhetorical.
Was a rhetorical
that
there?
was a rhetorical question for the people at home to muse.
Right. I thought that was direct.
No. I wouldn't do that. There goes Riley Cranham up into 9th position at the expense of Kenzo Krieger. There's the E-plate. Just the back of that shot, the all-black kart. Why is it all-black? Hasn't it got a Jamie Green Racing sticker kit on it? It's because Fred Green has had a bit of a growth spurt and he's now over the class weight limit. So he's got to take the graphics kit off because it saves him about 500 grams. So he's a bit heavier than everybody else. So he's at a disadvantage that way, but he does have fresher tyres.
Yes, he does at the very least. There we have the 73 going through our shot. That's Harry Bartel, who had that atrocious luck in the pre-final. That Ben Axel did well to finish in 8th, though, which kept him in this final. That's what's allowed him to stay up in the field, doesn't have to battle his way through.
Well, Fred Green, look at this, coming out of turn number 6, going into turn number 7. He's ahead of Kenzo Craigie in the Argenti Motorsport number 44. Kenzo, of course, part of the Mercedes Formula 1 Young Driver program. Out of turn number 8, under the shade of the trees here. You can see the green and white Evolve Motorsport number 44 of Hardy Mamassi behind them. Hardy is in 13th position. Zach Green is there in the number 10 kart, the second of the Jamie Green Racing karts, and heading down the hill. Now we're going to try and see what sort of pace Fred Green has got, because he's going to have a lap where he doesn't have to try and battle and overtake everybody. So we'll keep looking at the sector times here, and that'll give us an indication. 8.5 minutes to go. Fred Green has lost another second to the race leaders, but really we're looking at still a top 5 finish potentially on. I have to say Orridge and Mackie are driving very sensibly, Magic. They're not battling amongst each other.
Well, at least not yet.
Not yet, no, but they're allowing... there's a bit of a plastic bag there at the side of the circuit. Nobody wants to get that covering their radiator. But here comes Fred Green out of turn number 10. You can just see, look at the difference between him and Kenzo Craigie behind him. Look how much taller Fred Green is in the kart. Now, if you're a taller driver, Magic, weight is one problem, but then the ability to move the seat round is another issue.
Yes, it is. Obviously, he's got more of that body weight to handle. Obviously, you've got more weight over the back of the cart. The shorter drivers have less weight. They can move around their weight. They use this lead ballast, which brings them up to the weight limit. They can put more of it to the front of the cart on their seat. This is all within the regulations, but that changes quite actually noticeably the handling of the cart.
Indeed, and into turn number 10. Thank you, Magic. Now, Orridge. We're not seeing Orridge look over his shoulder as much, so we're at half distance now. There is Orridge, Mackie in second, Lloyd with the fast lap of the race so far, a 50.32. Macaulay Bishop, well, he's got a sponsor from Elbow Grease. He's going to have to get his elbows out to move past Kian Garrity and head up towards third place driver Freddie Lloyd. Where is the Dan Holland racing kart? And I think Macaulay was listening, because I think Macaulay might have just passed Kian Garrity for P4. And we've got a new race leader, Harrison Mackie. For the first time, he takes over top spot.
Yes, I think there was just a little bit of a brush between them, which unscheduled alignment change on the Origins kart will not be best pleased about. But he's got now a gap. That because of that little kerfuffle, you can see it's opened up. He's got about 3-4 kart lengths, so he can have a breath. He's allowed one breath.
Well, I think what happened, I think Mackie was committed to the move. Orridge thought about defending, half defended, a little bit of a tete-a-tete, and Orridge realised, okay, you know, that's going to be an incident, so I'm going to let Harrison go. It has unsettled Taylor Orridge a little bit, though. She's fallen right back into the clutches of Freddie Lloyd. Now, what can Fred do about the kart? Is in a 15-minute final, can you give your tyres a chance to cool down, and does it work if you ease back a little bit, and then does that give the tyres a little bit of extra life?
Yes, definitely. You know, even being behind somebody, you can brake a little bit earlier, brake a little bit softer, because then the toe behind somebody will bring you back up to them anyway. So you can take, you know, a couple of, 5, 6, 7 lap breather effectively, and it does make a difference.
It does. Okay, so maybe that's what Taylor is doing. We've still got 5.5 minutes to go. There is Fred Green, still in 10th position. However, last time we checked in, Fred Green was 9.6 seconds behind the race leader, Taylor Orridge. He's now 9.3 seconds behind race leader Harrison Mackie. So the top 10 is actually getting, even though there's still gaps in them, the top 10 is actually closing up as we enter the final 5 minutes of this race. And what has Fred Green got left in the tank? Behind the top 10, Kenzo Craig there in the 44 kart runs in 11th, followed by Zach Green in 12th, Hardy Mamasi is 30th, Monday Junior Canini is 40th, Morgan Moore is 50th, but he's got a penalty to be applied. Aston Sharp is next, followed by Henry Carter, Joey Brown, Laith Khan, Lewis Islin, David McIntyre, Cameron Edmonds, Sam Woolley, Joseph Smith and Ellis Vignola. Sam Branston, the only retirement of the race so far. Now the three drivers together, so Orridge can't afford to rest his tyres now, because he's got a Fusion driver chasing him. He sensed the danger, makes the move for the race lead. Orridge back in front.
Yes, he is. He's maybe thought about conserving his tyres, but then, as you mentioned quite rightly, sensed the danger inside that. No, he needs to go, and he needs to go now. So he does lead, but we have 4 minutes left on the clock, and the drivers behind are getting closer and closer with every passing lap. Yeah. This is going to be mighty close.
Kian Garrity in 5th position is 1.5 seconds behind Taylor Orridge. In fact, that gap is going to be less. He's now 1.4 seconds behind race leader Taylor Orridge. So 5 for the win. Croc Promotions Fusion, Dan Holland Racing and MDL Motorsport at the head of this field. Then there's a 1.5 second gap back to Lewis Bird. There is Bird in 6th position. 7th is the Fusion kart of Jensen Graham. Then it's Harry Bartle in the third Croc Promotions kart in the top 8, followed by Riley Cranham and Fred Green, who is now just 9.1 seconds off the lead. So Fred Green was further behind the further behind the race leader going through turn 1 on lap 1 than he is now almost.
Yes, those are all very good points, Henry. As you can see, the GP plate there. Oh, for the lead! It's got cut!
Oh, wow! Through turn number 1, Taylor Orridge, can he keep it off the barriers? Flat out, 70 miles an hour through turn number 1. Mackie committed. Orridge on the outside. Orridge, he must have travelled about 40 yards. Well, no, he must have travelled about 10 yards with all 4 wheels off the ground there. And he still managed to keep it out of the barriers. And we've got a new race leader. It's fast Freddie Lloyd. And here comes our championship leader, Macaulay Bishop. Bishop alongside Mackie for second. He takes P2. Bishop looking to capitalise. 2.5 minutes to go. Here comes Kian Garrity.
Oh, is there space? Oh, sideways. Oh, he's got it back. Bishop defends. Is he going to hold them off? Yes, he does. No outside heroics for the moment. Freddie Lloyd has a bit of a breather while these guys tussle in the background. Bishop is going. We've got 2 minutes left. He defends. He just moves over. Oh, it's ever so close. Garrity really thought about a move there coming into turn 4. Thought better of it ultimately, and I can hardly blame him.
Well, Fast Freddy is never going to have a better chance because Bishop is being forced to defend by Garrity. If Garrity now just sort of gives McCoy the signal, say, okay, let's go, then they will probably close back in on Freddy. Now, Taylor Orange is down to 6th. Is the kart still okay? We got 90 seconds to go, plus a lap. Bird is 5th. There is Orange, the GP plate kart in 6th. 7th is still Graham. Bartle is 8th. Cranham is 9th. Fred Green now just 7 seconds behind the race leader in 10th place. This is going to get very, very close indeed. Fast Freddie Lloyd, well, he now has a target on his back. And Cian Garrity, Macaulay Bishop are the 2 drivers hunting him down with Mackie up the inside. Harrison Mackie makes another really brave move to the inside on Cian Garrity, and this time it works.
Yes, it did. I was beginning to wonder whether perhaps Mackie had some damage from that earlier incident, but he seems to be still pulling all right to give himself a shot at a podium with just over 40 seconds left to go.
Yes, indeed. So, Freddie Lloyd starts lap number 18. His lead, 0.64 of a second. Bishop, championship leader. Macaulay Bishop, he just doesn't, well, he does know how to play the points game, but it's not in his DNA. Macaulay Bishop's DNA is race for the win every time. He's looking over his shoulder. Harrison Mackie is closing in. The gap is up to 0.8 of a second. We talked about what it's like, what a difference it makes when a driver gets their first major win. Freddie Lloyd had that at Franciacorta in the Army X30 Euro Series, so he knows now how to see one of these finals out. They will be coming to the last lap board now. 0.7 of a second, 0.75 of a second is what Freddie Lloyd has to play with. Will we see him defend? No, we shouldn't see him defend. Will we see him look over his shoulder? Maybe coming out of this corner. He'll have a glance coming up. There it is, just half a glance. He knows that no one is close. He gets his head down. He doesn't need to defend going into turn number 6. Bishop is having to defend from Mackie. This is Fast Freddie Lloyd's race to lose out of turn number 6. Freddie Lloyd's older brother Alex did an awful lot of winning in the British Championship before, but now Alex will not be the only member of the Lloyd family to have stood on top of a British Championship podium as Bishop and Garrity battle for second. Fast Freddie is a winner. Second, it's a dead heat. Bishop gets it by 0.06 of a second. Garrity in third, and Taylor Orange recovers to a fantastic 4th place finish. Jensen Graham rounds out the top 5 for Scotland, with Harrison Mackie down in 6th, Lewis Bird 7th, Harry Bartle is 8th, Riley Cranham 9th, and Fred Green from 26th to 10th, ahead of Zach Green, so Jamie Green Racing 10th and 11th. Kenzo Craigie will finish in 12th position, followed by Hardy Noah Mamasi. Then on track, it's Morgan Moore, but he will have a penalty applied behind Morgan. It is going to be in 15th position on track, Lewis Islin for the Jade Racing team. Aston Sharp was next home. Mondi Junior Canini in 17th place, with David McIntyre 18th, Henry Carter and Joey Brown rounding out the top 20. Laith Khan, Cameron Edmonds, Joseph Smith, Samuel Woolley and Elias Vignola, but Can't wait for this interview. Magic Camera is with Fast Freddie Lloyd.
Hello everybody, I am here with the Junior X30s. If my cameraman follows me this way, come. Don't be shy. Let me show you. Okay, let's not get run over. Easier said than done. Here we've got the scrutineering base. Currently we have Kin being weighed there, obviously make sure that they are in the legal limits for the race. He'll be pushing on. The scrutineering checks will be later if we just pan around to our left. There we go, where the scrutineers are positioned, making sure the watch out, the car may run you over, which would not be good. Where the scrutineers do the checks to make sure that all the technical aspects are as they should be. We will see. That was a very exciting race. I should make it clear there was plenty of action, especially in the closing laps. Obviously, multiple instances have you. The carts are coming here now. You can spot which drivers had the most interesting races just by the state of the side pods and the tyre marks. Over who had the worst of the territorial disputes, so to say. We will be shortly waiting for our first place driver. And here he is. Well, that was a close race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a really close race. Mackie and Orridge got away at the start. I was by myself. I was driving up to them. And then on the last couple of laps, I got through, defended, I got a gap, and then I won.
You were, I think, best placed to tell us what happened in that corner. What happened between the two leading drivers?
Well, when I got through, I defended and then just got away. So it was just, after that, I just maintained the gap.
You don't think anyone was to blame for the collision?
I'd say Taylor went round the outside and he's got a bit cheeky, but is what it is, really.
Well, there we go, a driver's viewpoint of what happened. He was there firsthand. But well done on your win. Anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank Aventus Power, Fusion, my mechanic Luke Wingfield, and my dad and my family for supporting me.
Great to hear. Fist bump on the way out? Yay! Okay, my streak is up. Our next driver, come. Macaulay Bishop, talk us through the race.
It's alright, I had an alright start, going to P5 I think, and then broke away, I made up a few positions. We stayed there for most of the race, and then obviously there was a crash at the first corner. Managed to get into second I think, and then just tried to hunt down Freddie, but we didn't have the pace, so just had to settle for second, but I think it's good for the championship, so see how we go next round. Good
points for the championship. Are you looking forward to the next round? Is it going to be really just bringing home the points in the next one?
I think it'll be hard, I think everyone will be fast, but we should be alright there.
Okay, well done. Anyone you'd like to thank for this?
All the DHR for prepping my cart, Grice Engines for the power, Sean for setting up the cart, and then my dad and brother for mechanicking. Okay, well done. Yes, it's going well, Right, King Gertie. Third place driver, who, you know, there was fair amount of action out there. What was your view? How did your race pan out?
We weren't quite quick enough towards the end, so we were sat in about 5th place, but I knew the leaders would start fighting at some point, and then when I got there, it was just about making the move, which I did on the last lap in the hairpin to get third.
Was that your plan to start off with, to sit back, or did you just not quite have the pace to get up there in the beginning laps? We just didn't quite have the pace, so I wanted to be up there, but I knew it'd come to me by the end of the race. Okay, great to hear. Third place, of course. Anyone you'd like to thank? MDL, Mark Litchfield, Lewis Malin for mechanicking, and then my dad for bringing me. Fist bump on the way out? Okay, it's going well, Henry, it's going well. Well, while we look at what's left of the Junior X30 carts, as they are considerably worse for Wera, it's back to you in the commentary box.
Thank you very much, Magic. And I'm glad to see that the fist pump ratio is still 100%. I thought that Fast Fred might spoil that for you. But again, yeah, really, really good final there. And, you know, obviously an incident between the top two. Fred Lloyd there was able, again, it just shows Freddie Lloyd was only inches behind Harrison Mackie and Lewis Wera. The reaction times of these drivers, world class, second to none, because Freddie didn't brake, because if he had braked to avoid it, then he would have been passed, but he kept it pinned and just managed to avoid the incident, and yeah, came home a new winner. So that would be that's another new winner, and I believe that might even be Freddie Lloyd's first podium in the British Championship. We've had several drivers today not only score their first podium, but their first podium with a win. Kanish Rao and Freddie Lloyd. We've got one race to go, however, and that will be Senior X30. We've got one driver trying to make it a perfect weekend. That'll be Gus Lawrence. We'll be catching up with the final race today after one last word from our sponsors. We'll now get the podium presentation underway for event 6 of the Wera Tours British Kart Championship and the Junior X30 class. The biggest grid of the weekend, and the racing certainly didn't disappoint. Finishing on the podium, he was the round 3 winner. He was the Kart Masters GP plate winner, and he finishes just 0.7 of a second off the winner in this one. It's Taylor Orridge, the Croc Promotions team. Runner-up time now, just 0.06 of a second separating the top two. For MDL Motorsport, second position goes to Kian Garrity. But obviously, after a post-race penalty for the on-track winner, Freddie Lloyd, our next driver takes his 10th win in the British Championship, second on the all-time list for Dan Holland Racing. It's Macaulay Bishop and the winning mechanic Mason Tune. Our championship leader, our top two in the championship on the podium. One round to go in Junior X30. The title will be decided at Wera in September. Congratulations to Macaulay, to Kian and to Taylor Orridge. Well done.